Revolutionary or insurrectionist. Max Stirner, author of The Ego and Its Own, distinguished between quote-unquote revolution and quote-unquote insurrection, defining the aims of revolution to be a new arrangement of society by a state, while he considered the aims of an insurrection to be the rejection of such arrangements and the free self-organization of individuals. Thomas Jefferson wrote, "I hold it that a little rebellion now and then is a good thing, and as necessary in the political world as storms in the physical." Douglas Perkins from The Medium, in regards to that quote, writes, "Revolution implies political upheaval in a government and is characterized by great change. It means protest to bring about change. Insurrection refers to the organized opposition to authority or mutiny. It implies fighting, which results often in bloodshed to take away control. It means control over others." Revolution comes from the Latin revoluto, meaning a turnaround. Insurrection comes from insurgere, meaning to rise against. In my opinion, what a violent uprising boils down to is who won and who is telling the story. But which one it is doesn't really matter for this dungeon. The characters have been contracted by a leader of a city, state, country, or nation to hunt down the last few individuals who try to overthrow their rule. Your group has tracked them down to their base, a workshop tucked away in a network of caves underneath a dormant volcano. The cave is not a part of this 5-room dungeon, but you can choose to have the characters navigate their way through, potentially encountering a number of fire-based monsters, or you can have them start at the doorway to the dungeon. A map has been provided if you wish to use it. An important thing to note about this area: creatures are taking fire damage almost the entire time. The caves themselves are sweltering, causing a non-fire-based creature to take 1 point of fire damage at various intervals. That continues into the dungeon, but also they have to make Constitution saving throws or take additional fire damage and become overheated. -1 to all rolls. This does stack. The first room has a solid steel door with an AC of 19, 60 hit points, and requires either a DC 25 strength athletics check or a DC 30 strength athletics check if the door is barred from the inside, to just break it down with sheer force rather than whittling away at its hit points. The inside is empty, save for an alarm spell and a glyph of warding that has a 7th level fireball inside of it. The hallway leading up to the second room is empty and nondescript, and the door is made out of simple stone. The room itself has a large, swirling red portal that leads to the plane of fire. The mages have been using these portals in their research to create something. There's also a table containing a bunch of metal parts, including star metal. Superior to normal iron, meteoric iron is a much denser metal and causes more damage when made into weapons. It tends to punch through normal armors and thus stands a better chance of causing a critical hit. As armor, it withstands impact much better than either iron or steel. Additionally, star metal doesn't rust or suffer from magnetism like common iron. There's a permanent teleportation circle that no longer works because the destination has been dispelled, and papers talking about different types of metals and the effects elemental fire would have on them. The hallway leading to the third room is also nondescript and ends at a simple stone door. Immediately as they enter the room, they trigger a trap, the Pain of Progress, found in the Game Master's Book of Traps, Puzzles, and Dungeons, written by Jeff Ashworth. Trigger and flavor. Walking into a chamber triggers a rune on the opposite side of the door that fires off a cone of flame. The cone does more damage the closer a creature gets to the rune creating it. Read the following. As you continue deeper into this chamber, you see a rune spark with a fiery, hot, arcane flare. Your body feels as if you are burning from the inside out. Make a dexterity saving throw. Result: the creature that triggers the trap must succeed on a DC 19 dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, they suffer 46 fire damage, or half as much on a success. This cone releases a constant stream of fire damage, and any creature that ends its turn in it is subject to the dexterity saving throw as outlined above. For every 5 feet a creature steps towards the rune, creating this cone. The damage increases by 1 die. You can choose the size of the cone of the rune, it just needs to reach all the way to the door. Disarming. A successful casting of Dispel Magic, 6th level, would dispel the rune and allow creatures to move through the room unharmed. The rune is vulnerable to damage, but it is incredibly small. It has 1 hit point and an AC of 26. Its AC decreases by 2 for every 10 feet. Closer to it, a creature planning to attack approaches, to a minimum of 15 from 5 feet away. Inside, there's another portal to the plane of fire and a number of partially built constructs that have a few runes engraved on them, which the characters can decipher to get ideas on what might be on the boss monster. If the constructs are searched, a simple metal key is found. The fourth room continues the trend of simple hallways and a stone door. When they enter, there's a Hellfire Whiplash trap from, again, the Game Master's Book of Traps, Puzzles, and Dungeons, written by Jeff Ashworth. Trigger and flavor. Walking into the room triggers a rune on the ceiling, which drops a flaming arcane snare to grapple and raise the creature who triggered it. The entire ceiling is lined with these fire lure runes, such that diving out of the way of the first could send a creature ducking, diving, and dodging them throughout the chamber. Read the following. As you enter this room, you hear a sizzling pop overhead as a whip-like gout of flames shoots down toward you from the ceiling. Make a dexterity saving throw. Result. The creature that triggers this rune must succeed on a DC 19 dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the creature suffers 9 2d8 fire damage and is dragged 15 feet towards the ceiling, where they are grappled, DC 19. On a successful save, the creature rolls a d4. On a 1, 2, or 3, the creature triggers another flame lure rune above them at the point where they land, following their dexterity saving throw. They must repeat the save and d4 check. For each time they roll a d4, the number that triggers a trap is lowered by 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. If they fully succeed, they find themselves on the side of the room where the deactivation rune is. At the GM's discretion, this motion has created a path of triggered runes that a creature would follow to avoid having to deal with the remaining runes with a DC 19 Wisdom Perception check. Investigating. A creature investigating the ceiling of this room before entering must succeed on a DC 19 Intelligence investigation check to notice a slight shimmer of charged arcane energy on the ceiling 30 feet above. A creature that casts Detect Magic would immediately be aware of the runes, which give off a strong aura of abjuration and evocation magic. Disarming. The runes can be dispelled with a successful Dispel Magic, 4th level, which clears out 20 feet of the rune's trapped area, or the deactivation rune on the other side of the room can be touched. The 5th room is the boss room, containing the Construct Mage Smiths and the Molten Juggernaut. To enter this room, both doors on either side of the room, one that leads from room 3 and one that leads from room 4, must be opened. If they are not opened simultaneously or are broken down, it spawns 2 fire elementals into the boss chamber. The Molten Juggernaut is constructed with stone, iron, and star metal. Lava drips from the cracks of its body. On 4 plinths in each corner stands a Construct Mage Smith, the 4 mages the party was hired to track down. The battle between the party and the Molten Juggernaut will be intense, especially because the Mage Smiths themselves can't be targeted for damage. They've tied themselves to the Molten Juggernaut, so as long as it lives, so do they. But as the Molten Juggernaut loses hit points, they die. Mostly the mages will use their turn to heal and empower the Molten Juggernaut, empowering its abilities and healing the damage. There are ways to negate these actions, such as dealing cold damage to the mages directly. The Construct Mage Smiths share one stat block and share the resources of that stat block amongst each other. They do not each get the per-day uses of their spells. The Molten Juggernaut stat block can be tweaked by adding or swapping out the abilities shown in the section, increasing the difficulty. One ability gives the creature a fire aura that deals fire damage and strips away fire resistance and gives vulnerability. Another means the creature isn't hampered by difficult terrain, and the final gives it a heated body, so up-close melee attacks deal damage to the attacker. When the fight is over, the escape begins. The destruction of the Molten Juggernaut sets off the volcano, which will destroy the surrounding area, including the place where the quest giver is. They can try to mitigate the damage by reversing the portal to draw in the volcano's destructive powers, while dodging the bursts of lava and falling rocks. Here's a list of some other fire-based monsters you can use if you have access to the books. Insinus, from the Cobalt Press's Creature Codex, it has an AC of 17 and 171 hit points. Crux of Fire, from MCDM Productions' Flea Mortals, it has an AC of 14 and 75 hit points. Lava Lord, from Alan Tucker's Incredible Creatures, it has an AC of 16 and 163 hit points. Medium and Huge Fire Elemental, from Dragon Nyx's Monster Manual Expanded, Volume 1, the medium one has 12 AC and 51 hit points, and the huge one has 14 AC and 189 hit points. Magma Para Elemental, from Dragon Nyx's Monster Manual Expanded, Volume 2. It has an AC of 13 and 102 hit points. Fire Geist, from Cobalt Press's Tome of Beasts, Volume 1. It has an AC of 14 and 87 hit points. Cheruf, from Cobalt Press's Tome of Beasts, Volume 2. It has an AC of 19 and 161 hit points. Lava Keeper, from Cobalt Press's Tome of Beasts, Volume 2. It has an AC of 18 and 276 hit points. Ember Glider from Cobalt Press's Tome of Beasts Volume 3. It has an AC of 15 and 44 hit points. For the stronger creatures, I would highly suggest lowering their hit points, making them strong but easy to kill. Consider them like minions from MCDM Productions' Flea Mortals. And that's it, folks. Before we go, a word from me.
Hey everybody, my name is VJ Harris. My pronouns are they, them, he, him, and something funny. And I want to say thank you so much for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. You know the whole thing. If that's not something you want to do, again, I appreciate you watching the video and getting this far. Anyway, one last thing before I let y'all go. I am a professional TTRPG designer and GM. And so if you're looking for someone to design a game system, monster, adventures, you name it, I have experience doing that, and I can also run a game for you if you're looking for that as well. Those services are available, and as far as the design bit goes, the prices are different depending on if you want to use it for non-commercial use, so your personal stuff, or commercial use. You can find more information about that in the description below. And again, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.